Hello, everyone. Welcome to the GLORIO Chat, the best anime podcast on the internet. I was watching anime right up to the last minute here, so I didn't really prepare a bit. So, I don't know. Happy International Women's Day, I guess. Shout out to women.
Yes.
Artemis, thank you for your service. Is that how this works?
For the purpose of this podcast, I am woman. Thank you.
Thank you for your service. Is that how this works?
Sure. I'll take it.
Well, anyway, we do have, of course, anime to talk about. We are on the home stretch of the season already, folks. With next time we'll be talking season previews and whatnot, but this will be our probably our last opportunity to talk about most of these shows before they end. So, get your wild predictions in for I don't know if any of these shows are really requiring wild predictions. Well, maybe Fate. We can talk
Who
about
will
that.
win the Grail War?
Yeah, that's definitely going to wrap up the next two episodes.
The LA/Las Vegas Grail War.
So we'll get into all that, but to start, let's introduce everybody. I am Jel. I am joined by Iro.
I'm still here. I'm not dead yet. Despite
Welcome
everything.
back.
Yeah.
It's always a strange experience trying to record this without you, Iro. But welcome back. It's glad to see you are not dead.
I see you didn't clean up all the streamers and fireworks that you set off.
Oh no, of course. We did miss you, but yes. We are also joined by G.
Everybody likes to talk up about this this damn daylight saving stuff, right? We're losing this hour, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Try being awake when you lose the hour. All right, that is.
Yep, I was there.
Then you understand.
God, you know what?
As someone that regularly, let's say, goes to sleep past 2 a.m.
Yes. I mean,
the pain of seeing it go from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. instantly is real.
Yes. Look, I'm just a humble, 2 a.m. Uma Musume player here, just trying to clean up a run. It should not show 4 a.m. when I am done training Agnes Digital. I don't care for it.
Yeah.
On days like this, then we should be thankful that Shinzo Abe did not get daylight savings time through in Japan.
Okay.
When he tried to push that through.
God.
Small victories, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I feel like I'm in a different world because last time we were recording, it was like 10 degrees outside and there was a blizzard. And today it's 65 and sunny. So, I don't know.
It's going to be 90 here for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
So, what is time? I don't know. Anyway, we're joined by Artemis, as we mentioned. We are also joined by Artemis.
Introducing you to a kind of a new kind of pay. Not only was I indeed still up at 2 a.m., but this kind of is a pain in the ass for my for work-related issues, because as someone who monitors the Japanese news for the job, I am now no longer up probably at the end of the Japanese day, which makes it really hard to catch up after I've finally gone to sleep and wake up at whatever time the next day.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's rough.
That said, more daylight, I'll take it. Sure.
I'm complaining even though I bring it upon myself, but it's like you've got actual reasons. Yeah. Well, that'll be fun trying to fix sleep schedules for the next month or more adjusting, but we'll get there. All right. Well, let's get into talking about some anime then. Like I said, we are on the home stretch of the season here. We're getting into episode 8s and 9s and things, right? So let's kick things off by talking about a show. Artemis, since you're the only one watching this, we've not regularly talked about, but we can talk about Oshi no Ko, season 3.
Sure.
How's that
So,
been going?
am I allowed to spoil things here?
Yes, I
Have
don't. I
Yes.
we-
don't think
Okay.
any of us have kept up with it. In fact, I think the
Yeah.
words "Oshi no Ko" have not been spoken in this podcast for.
All
Well,
right.
we
I
did
mean,
we did the last time Artemis was on.
That's true.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Other than that, it has not been a
I would
regular.
prefer no future spoilers if you guys have read the manga because I haven't and I am like semi invested in how it's going to end eventually.
I
Okay.
don't think any of us have read the manga. Maybe Aqua
Okay.
has.
I think
Aqua
don't
might
know.
I think
have.
only Akugues has read the
Aqua
manga.
might have. Yeah.
All I know about the manga is that people were complaining when it finished because they didn't like the ending.
Sure.
I don't know what said ending was. and
Many such
Yeah.
cases.
Yes, that's like a
Um,
75% chance. I feel like on any manga, but yes.
So, a brief catch up of the last couple of episodes, I guess. So the season kind of at the start shifted to Ruby, the sister,
Right.
and then it kind of shifted back to Aqua because he's just found out that after all, not all is said and done, and his mother's murderer is not after all dead, and so he's back on his revenge quest in order to make peace with himself, basically, and live like a relatively normal life. And then they do track down the person they believe. They don't know for sure, but they believe to be the murderer, and they are correct. He is. And we know we are correct because they introduce a brand new character in the last episode, only to immediately kill her off at the end of the same episode because she was murdered by him. So,
Okay, so this is
Huh.
like a guy's a
like
serial murderer.
shows him like not in the act of doing it, but like standing over her dying body in her last breath, as she said, "You murderer," kind
You
of
killed
thing,
me.
and you see the light dim from her eyes.
Huh.
Yes, so that's happened, and Aqua has outed himself and his sister as being the children of I. So the world knows now that
Was that a secret the whole
that
time?
right.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that was a secret from the beginning.
right.
So
They
that's
just
a big-
never. The only people that knew aside from the twins were the head of their agency now, and I guess she kind of ended up being their foster mum of sorts,
Right.
like in season 1 when they were still young kids, basically.
Right. I recall that.
Yeah. And so up until then, I think they were basically the only people that knew who
So
they were.
this seems to me like a ramp up to a final climax. Then
I thought so too, but something tells me also there will be another season. I don't. Again, I have not read the manga, so I don't know like how many story arcs there are to get through. I would not be shocked if there were more after this. I don't know if this current season would have enough episodes left. I mean, it could, but I don't think it will. I don't think it will wrap everything up within the next 3 episodes.
okay.
Probably. I would
Yeah.
say I would assume there's going to be a season 4 at some point.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, it does, but I mean, those are big kind of bombs. Though.
They're
Like,
big.
that was-
They're big. They are definitely big swings. It's quite a departure from most of what season 2 offered, which was kind of them training for a big stage play and like Aqua dealing mostly with his psychological issues and panic attacks, and there were a lot of like relationship things going on and very like who's dating who and all that kind of stuff. So this is definitely a ramp up. But then again, it is Oshinoko, so I do expect it to go back to that at some point. The latest thing was because Aqua had outed himself and Ruby as being the children of I. He then presented a movie, like they were gonna make a movie, like a I guess
biopic.
shot in a fictional style, but basically the movie of her life, essentially. It sounded like, and he had, the team had got their actors together, and the actor or actress that was supposed to play I was the one who got murdered at the end of the episode. So
Okay.
I don't know whether
Did they almost did they like stage this or something to?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No one knew she was gonna. They introduced the character at the start of the episode where she's complaining about being cast in the movie, and then by the end of the episode, she's dead.
That's wild.
So they never even meet her, I believe.
It's weird because because I think about I guess back all the way back in those halcyon days of season 1, I feel like I think a lot of us were sort of not negative on the showbiz stuff. In fact, I think some of the showbiz stuff was pretty surprisingly well handled, but I think there was some element of a lot of us got pulled in because of the murder mystery. And then it becomes a different thing after those first 2 episodes. And I think some of us wished it returned to the murder mystery. But the way in which you describe them returning to the murder mystery does not have me I'm not out here like, oh wow, it's time to get back in. It's more like, ooh, maybe there's a reason they spent so long avoiding the murder mystery.
Yeah, there's also the whole supernatural aspect to the show. Like, reincarnation aside, there are 1 or 2 other little scenes here and there, very scattered throughout kind of season 2, mostly, that implied more of a supernatural aspect than previously thought. But it was the briefest of hints, and they just never got back to it. So I don't know if this was a storyline that the manga went into and then just kind of abandoned, or if it's going to be explored more, or if there's going to be a departure from the manga. I really don't know what's going to happen there. I personally don't care for the supernatural aspect. The reincarnation thing is whatever. It's fine. It's it's done, right? They're already reincarnated. There's
a plot device, basically, right? It wasn't
but I don't want to go back to a supernatural bent. I don't want more of it. So I will be disappointed if just, I don't know, for example, the murderer has some kind of powers or something. I don't want that kind of thing. That's not what I'm here for at all. I don't think anyone could blame Oshinoko, or not blame. I don't think anyone could claim that it doesn't take some big swings. And I would rather an anime take a big swing and just miss spectacularly than just play it safe the whole time. So respect for that. Will it come together? Don't know.
Right. That's
and the show has always been a very chaotic mix of supernatural and murder mystery and interpersonal drama and showbiz drama and psychological trauma, and just kind of all mixed in together. And sometimes it kind of works in harmony, and sometimes it absolutely doesn't, and people will naturally say, I like this part of the show but not that part of the show.
Right.
And I agree. I personally think the murder mystery kind of drama stuff tends to play a lot better and is just generally a lot more intriguing and well done than the kind of dating interpersonal relationship aspect of it. I'm okay with bits of it, but I would prefer not to see a big shift back to that.
Yeah. I guess it'll depend how much longer they need to pad this out, if they do.
Right. How long are they going to drag it out? Because now that it's pretty, I think, set in stone who the murderer is, if not exactly his motives, but you kind of get a hint of, what he's after. Then I think, I
have a potentially silly question about this, the murderer and whatnot, which is is based on what I know about this show. My question is this being presented as this is the seedy underbelly of the entertainment industry? This is systemic corruption, or is it closer to this one dude is crazy and kills people?
I would say a little of both. I would say both. They're definitely presenting him as like a psychotic person who can switch very quickly between affable, he is in showbiz, showbiz guy, like just very polite, nice to his colleagues, professional, is good at his job. They haven't showed a ton of him, so it's hard to like give a full kind of characterization. But
so it's
that's
not
what
even
he
like an
appears to be.
existing character. It's just
Right. He was not previously an existing character. I don't think I ever saw him at all before this season.
All right.
And
the show.
if I did, I forgot.
even in season 1 and the parts I've watched, I mean, the critique of the industry is part of it, but that's one of the many things the show is trying to do.
Right. The biggest critique part of that side of things, the murderer, is that he is extremely young. Extremely young. So
how young could they be if they killed somebody 15 years ago?
Oh, maybe, but it is heavily implied that I not only had a relationship that was secret and had two children, but that the person she was in a relationship with was not of age.
Okay.
So adding, a lot more kind of, was that really really a good thing to do? So, like,
gotcha.
Legally, socially, morally.
Interesting.
Certainly, if it had been reversed and I had been the younger one and he had been the older one, then we would be saying, like, absolutely not. Like, that is probably statutory.
I felt like that was it felt like it was originally implied that it was like an older person in the industry or something.
Right, but in this case, she was
that's
the older one.
Even though she was only like 20 or something, right? Like,
right,
she was that older self. But either way, it's Ugh.
Yeah. So, is that
okay? Interesting. Yeah, this is the kind of show I didn't enjoy watching it, but I do like just want to know what happens. So
I'll let you know.
Yeah, I can understand why you would be like invested in just seeing it through at this point, right?
Right.
So were you implying then there that the twins' like father is also the killer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Or at least lover. I mean, I suppose it's possible that she could have had more than one relationship, but I don't. Sure. They have not implied as such.
Right.
I didn't. I mean, it might have been just Aqua's assumption in the beginning, but I think he was assuming that their father was the killer or something, or he had something to do with.
I don't know, because I've not watched any of this show, so
so there was always
a connection. The person he thought might have been his father turned out to not be his father.
Okay.
Yeah. So
part of the drama,
right?
Naturally.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll see if we get a season 4. I'm sure they'll want to wrap up the story.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just checking something. It's like I always forget this is the same writer as Kaguya-sama, which is wild.
Oh yeah.
Like didn't he basically write this because he was mad that he was forced to write a comedy or something? I don't know. I don't remember.
Wasn't it about the handling of the live action movie or something?
Oh yeah. That's what kind of inspired it. But I think he was also mad about having to write a comedy.
Yeah, but now there's another manga coming out. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because this has been over for a bit now, right? Oshinoko.
Right.
Yeah.
So I can't remember. Akasaka, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's another manga coming out. I cannot for the life of me remember the name at this point.
We'll see what they're up to next.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to You and I are polar opposites. This is still trucking along. We had some exciting plot lines in these 2 episodes, like going bowling. It rained, and
Okay.
Dang.
birthday party. So again, the ceiling is so low on this show, but it just continues to get by on charm and good writing, right? So
I could try to roast them, but like 2 of those 3 things happened in my life in the last like month. So,
Yeah. It's very.
if I just went bowling, I would complete the 3.
Oh wait, they also went to a museum.
Damn. All right. Now these people are living, actually. Hold on.
Yeah.
which frankly was kind of the worst segment of all of them. And that was actually also part of the birthday, so maybe that doesn't count. I don't know. But yeah, so some of it is getting wearing a little thin on me. Like the museum bit, I think they were just padding for time. So like there was a lot of that segment that was just them like it was like a montage of them looking at exhibits and being like, oh cool, it's a dinosaur. And like they just did that for like 5 minutes straight. So
Dinosaurs are pretty cool.
there is that, but like I said, they continue to get by on the charm and the good writing. The main couple is very fun and cute, and makes you feel good watching it. They had their big first kiss, and I appreciated how they handled it, because like it was very subtle, and like they didn't make too big a deal out of it, because I mean it's a big deal when you're like 15 or whatever, right? But like uh they don't even really show it. They just kind of they do the shot where you see her feet go up as she goes in for the kiss, and then it's done. But I appreciated that. The other big thing is I keep talking about this other like incel kid character that would have been the main character in another anime, and they're slowly trying to like redeem him, as having actual friends warms his cold dead heart. And I think they're finally pairing him up with somebody, so we'll now have our 3rd pair of polar opposites. So we have the main couple, who is like the quiet, shy guy, and the very like outgoing, fun girl. And then we had the second one, which was like just swap the genders basically. The guy is the fun, outgoing one, and then he's interested in the quiet librarian girl. And then this one, we have our incel guy that has no experience with friends or talking to people or dating or anything, who is now getting chummy with the girl who actually has dating experience and lots of friends that also have a history of just walking all over her. So fun times with that. But yeah, so they're doing a good job managing it all, though, even though now have like multiple couples in play and everything. I appreciate that even in an episode that might be focused on one of them, they're all always just intertwined with each other, so you're never like losing sight of what's going on with everybody else.
Right.
They do
From
a good
the
job.
one or 2 episodes I saw, that seemed to me to be like the standout thing about this show.
Yeah, because they're all friends, so like they're all like together at some point, and it's not just like this episode we're going to focus on these 2,
right,
and that's all we're going to see for the episode. And
right. I feel like the normal mode for this type of show is here's the main couple for like slightly too long, and then we introduce some other characters. And
right, when you're bored with that, we'll bring more people in. So
but it's probably better to have them all in early.
Yeah, they do a good job mixing that all up. And like I said, the ceiling is low, but it's good execution. It's kind of hard for me to explain every week why that's good. You kind of have to just watch it. But I appreciate what they're doing, and you know what? Any show I can watch that makes me feel good in these times, I will take. So it's a fun show that makes you feel good while you're watching it, about nice people. There's not too much drama or anything, and I appreciate that. So all right, let's move on to another show you're watching, Artemis Isekai Office Worker. We had the rather fun reveal of this show showing what it really is last time, I guess. But uh, how has that been
Yeah.
going?
Good. Yes. Pretty good.
Has there been
I would say
any particular standout moments from the last couple episodes?
I was gonna joke and just say like 6, but
Hey, that counts. I mean, it counts.
So if you're looking for an extremely in-depth plot with intricate world building and complex character relationships, you will not find it here. But you will what you will actually find is a fair amount of dedication to the job that the main character is undertaking. So he has been appointed the head or one of the heads of this like of finance, basically, right? Like he is in charge of getting people to submit reports so that he can have a good accounting of what money the kingdom is spending, where it is spending it,
right?
Output versus input kind of thing.
Man.
Right, through and through. And he is like 110% dedicated to doing that job. And credit to the show, they make him invested, and they make the show like part of that. They don't just say like, this is my job, I'm going to do my job now, returns at end of episode, job is done. Like, they will show him go out and interview people and question people or investigate certain cases if someone submits a report that says this money is going here, but there's some discrepancy. It is his job to go out and actually investigate the discrepancy.
Get rid of some corrupt tax collectors and stuff.
Right, pretty much.
Does that like set you up for like like episodic today's case story that we can play around with?
No, like a little, but not really. The current arc is that he has to go and investigate a church, one of the biggest.
And
it's a state church, right? Like,
asking for trouble.
It's run by the state. It gives money to the state. It provides services to the state through various ways. And he's spent the last like 3 episodes investigating this church.
Okay.
And maybe there will be some reveal. Like, I think maybe they're going for like a figure he maybe hasn't met yet, like someone high up, like a bishop or some kind of, I don't know, higher up kind of manager of this church or spiritual leader of this church somewhere is falsifying reports or doing something nefarious on the side that the regular priests maybe don't know about, that kind of thing. So they're putting in like a decent amount of screen time and effort into like explaining how this happens and him going to try and figure out what's going on. I
can respect it. Yeah.
Quite surprised. Yeah, I do respect it for doing that. Because I didn't really expect that going into the show. Even though I did like the show from episode 1 because it was a little different from the norm, I respect it more because it does actually follow through on the premise that it gives. The premise is not just there to facilitate the sex.
It is, in fact, about an isekai office
it is.
worker.
I'll take that back. It is there to facilitate the sex, but in equal amounts, it does actually follow through.
I was going to ask, what is the ratio between actual plot and just setting up the sex?
It's not just isekai office worker. It's isekai office worker JV titles. Like,
I would say like a 60-40, the 60 being the plot, financial kind of stuff. So it's like fairly even.
Okay.
I would say, which it is surprising. I'm surprised. Not in a bad way. it's an interesting show. I haven't really seen another show quite like it, even though it has all the trappings of a fairly routine isekai, um, with kind of fairly standard
Uh-huh.
pseudo medieval backdrop. Um, it actually
Yes.
it does have a vested interest in following through on everything that it introduces at the start.
It is
So
an interesting combination of things that maybe that combo. We might see those
right,
pieces
Sure.
separately a lot, but
right,
that
and
combo.
and on the BL side, if you if you were a person who grew up or had your young adulthood, if you were interested in BL, kind of centered around a lot of shows coming out that were not invested in healthy relationships, that were
Mm,
heavily skewed towards large age gaps, questionable consent, all these kind of fairly toxic
yeah.
aspects of BL is nowhere to be seen here.
Okay,
And that is great. I would say
that's
highly
good.
refreshing, but I haven't, like, honestly, there's not that many BL shows that come out every season that you could
I
say.
I mean, the way you described it last time, it sounded almost mechanical, like or
I
clinical. Maybe
mean,
is a better term.
yeah, because he the main character, like the finance guy, he doesn't seem to have any particular interest himself in romance. Like he is not setting out to find the love of his life. He did not like come here. Um,
Yeah.
he was dragged here by mistake, and he had no relationship in the real world, and he did not set out to find one here. He just kind of found himself in one. Um,
He's just down to get his injection when he needs
right.
it.
Yeah. Um, and then the other guy who was like in the army, like a quite high up in the army, but he's like I guess
Officer.
I think I can't remember what exactly his title is, but he's respected. He's like the leader of his particular squadron or whatever. Um, is despite being like the possibly older, maybe they're around the same age, certainly higher up, ranking wise, certainly more powerful. Obviously, he's a native here, so more knowledgeable. Is the one who's like all kind of lovey dovey over him.
Mhm.
Which is also kind of nice because normally, if there's going to be in BL, there's often a fairly steep power imbalance, and the power is normally lying with the older slash more experienced, more
Right.
powerful person. In this case, he's just absolutely besotted, and everyone can see it at this point.
Right.
So that's kind of cute.
Yeah, that's cool. Um, yeah, I was just curious, like, how much is it like? Is it like an actual relationship versus like you said, like I said last time, it sounded rather clinical, but like it seems like there's actual
It
like
seems it's leaning.
a relationship
I
there.
would say the last one or two episodes have been definitely finally leaning towards the more relationship level um, aspects. So finally, we're seeing some level of reciprocation going on at this point, and not just I guess I'll live with you
Right.
and have sex on the regular to make sure I don't die.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like there's a lot more kind of letter writing and blushing and so on and so forth going
Okay.
on. And to my understanding, I want to say light novel series this is based on does seem to be still ongoing and fairly long.
Okay.
Just a lot of
So
material to work with.
I'm gonna assume like it happens in the novel series as well, that maybe it starts off in a more slightly clinical fashion, but then I've seen some of the cover artwork for it, and it does appear, you know, it definitely looks more romancy.
Right.
So
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay.
Not to like, how do I feel like I went on this rant years ago, but like at this point, other than as a artifice for this guy is good at numbers and needed a reason for them to bang, like the Isekai element of this does not seem to be relevant at all.
It might be later because the whole end game is to get the person who was supposed to be isekai'd over was the sacred maiden who was supposed to kind of right the wrongs and defeat the evil miasma or whatever was plaguing the kingdom. Wants to go home,
right?
And so they are the end game, being that he's going to devise a way for that to happen. And maybe go with her. Like it's implied, like, it's enough to send her and one other person back. So I'm going to assume at some point there will be some kind of maybe angst about like,
sure,
whether he actually wants to go back, and what that will mean if he does, kind of thing.
Okay.
But they kind of have only really hinted at that so far, and no one's really questioned it either. So, but it's a place for the story to go, and it is a place to keep it kind of at least slightly anchored in he was isekai here. He doesn't actually belong here. What is he going to do?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's the classic way to handle that plot line and keep it relevant, if at all. But yeah,
I've complained in the past on the trend of things that could feasibly be just fantasy stories or whatnot, stapling on the word isekai because why not? And that is.
Yeah, I think in this case it does make sense with his character as well, because he is truly invested in and if he has a job, he will see it through. And because he's the very nature of him being an outsider here means that he is not particularly afraid of questioning people who maybe wouldn't be questioned by people who actually were natives to the country, because why would they? Like, how dare some young upstart who has no real power, like, question a higher political figure or, something like that. So I think the isekai nature of the show, at least, even if they don't talk about all the time, like the fact that he is an outsider, still allows him to go and make all these decisions and have these choices that other people simply would not want to do.
Right.
Because it would go against societal norms. So socially, like the social aspects of the world building, I think does tie actually pretty neatly into the isekai premise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which all to say, I'm probably giving this show way too much like of an in-depth look than what people are probably here for. But
sometimes you want it all, right?
It's your bonus. Yeah.
Get both the world building and anime dudes doing it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So why not have it all? All right. Well, we'll go to I think I don't know how to transition to Digimon from that, but Digimon Beatbreak.
Speaking of isekai, I don't know.
Well, less so this time than in previous.
Okay. Well, what international crime has been featured in Digimon this week?
They've continued with the underground pit fighting arc. I believe last podcast it was mentioned that after the human trafficking episode, now it's the illegal pit fighting episode where somebody has kidnapped the main guy and stuck him in the evil Coliseum, where if you lose, they drag you away and drain all your e-pulse and leave you a frozen husk.
As you do
in the like underground cemetery. So the rest of the heroes team busts in, and the rest of the tactics team busts in to crash everything, and most of this episode ends up being about the two leaders of the team are duking out because they're the strongest ones, and though Kyo, our heroic leader guy, is winning. But the tactics leader, it's like, I recruited this one kid specifically for this purpose, because the kid who used to be in a refugee camp that got blown up in violation of international law, his Digimon is like a shield. It's like a little shield guy that can be equipped by other Digimon.
What is it called? Like shield, like
No,
Igesmon, or what?
Ludomon.
Ludomon. All right, let's look this up.
So yes, much as episode is, bad guy is like, this is why I brought you here, equips Ludomon, and so the more Ludomon is getting, blocking attacks, the more E-Pulse it's draining from Granit, the kid. And of course, Granit's over here, like, as his body is freezing and his energy is being drained away, he is literally being like, yes, finally, I can die.
Okay.
Flashbacks to him about to jump off cliffs, being like, not today, Ludomon.
Yeah, this sure is a little guy.
Yep. And so, of course, we get the emotional entreats of, you might want to die, but Ludomon is here to protect you, and if you die, then Ludomon dies too, etc.
So even the Ludomon that believes in you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
and then does it evolve into Tia Ludomon here?
Yep. We get our
wait, really?
Yeah. It's still a kid's show, man.
I was just like looking at Ludomon. I was like, all right, what does Ludomon evolve into? Digivolve into?
Tia Ludomon, which is, what if a shield was attached to a mechanical wolf head?
It's like a godman, It's
kind of
like Gurren Lagann,
Yeah, so it's all very broad kid show. Believe in yourself. Don't seek to die, child.
Don't seek to die, child.
Don't make your Digimon watch you kill yourself. And that's all. Everybody escapes. They're sort of leading up to a final confrontation with tactics. What did happen is the one member of the 5 stars, the big bad enemy teams, the dude who was running the illegal auction and the illegal pit ring, because now that has all been exposed. Not that the world government was stopping him at all beforehand. Now that it's become slightly too public to ignore, they're like, we're going to cut him off.
Yes, because exposing people's crimes always leads to accountability in the real world.
Right.
But
right, I mean, they've been pretty clear that, like, he has not suffered any ill effects from running these things, and everybody knew he was running these things.
Sure.
It's just now
it reached a point where they couldn't ignore it anymore.
Now they're going to shoot Epstein in his jail cell. Right.
Right. That seems closer to what Iro is getting at.
Okay.
This is not out of a moral impetus. This is a pragmatic decision by the villains.
Gotcha.
Yes. And so that seems to be where we're going.
Are you sure this Digimon's not called, like, Digimon Black Pill instead of Beatbreak?
I don't know. This might be radicalizing some kids here. I don't know.
It is wild. It's just the kid several episodes ago, I guess, being in his refugee camp, brown kid in refugee camp being blown up by missiles, while his smartphone says, don't worry, it's in violation of international law to attack refugee camps, as he's exploded, is just still insane to me.
No, but this is kind of the thing I was, like, arguing about, like, in the previous podcast when they were talking about Digimon Beatbreak. For, like, yes, it's kind of ludicrous and absurd, but also, again, not to rip from the headlines here, but it's like, this is like,
it's sad how relevant it is.
It's somehow not even that far removed from the actual reality, right? Of like there are in fact people quite literally being bombed now, and some smug dipshit on the internet is like, well, technically that's illegal. They shouldn't do that. And it's like, all right, bro, thanks. Like,
yeah.
And unfortunately in real life we do not have a Ludomon to
block the explosion for us. Yes. Yeah. yeah, that's why I think I'm enjoying the show more than I thought I might have. Is this strange turn into realism? Question mark. Just being dark for a children's show.
Yeah, it seems like
It's
pretty
wild.
like bold to go there with Digimon, right? But yeah,
Yeah.
Man, Ludomon's got like a whole ass line. Wow. Like,
Oh yeah, dude. There's
like,
so many like of those groups, right, in Digimon.
Well, what I mean is that like some Digimon are like kind of famously one-offs, right? Or like they have Digivolutions, but they're not like they're not like a logical, consistent through line, right? Like Tankmon doesn't evolve into Mega Tankmon. Tankmon evolves into like
various types of other machine mons.
Exactly, right? Like there is no Mega Tankmon, there's no Skull Tankmon. You know what I mean?
Right. Uh-huh.
But like I'm looking this up, man. Like Ludomon to Tia Ludomon to Raiji Ludomon to Browell Ludramon to Ragna Lord Dumon. Like what the like
Digimon
like
is so dumb.
man, like yeah, like this is what I'm saying is that Ludamon has like this is like main character Digivolution privilege.
I know, right?
Like
from that little
got, like,
shield guy.
It's a non-zero chance that stuff will show up. You know, it's like
is this refugee kid joining the main cast?
Right? I don't know.
Because this Digivolution line has like
main character energy, right?
Yeah, you know, like this is some like Cactarmon shit right here, you know, like
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Like, you know, the tactics, the kids of Tactics Team are being portrayed as broadly sympathetic characters despite their crimes.
Despite their crimes.
Yeah, it seems like they've committed many crimes.
They've committed crimes, but also there's like a big muscle adult punching them in the face over and over. So
sure.
You know?
Yeah. All right.
They just moved a place and they found it on the battlefield.
You said there was only one new episode this week, right?
Yeah, the block was Fuji TV. That the Fuji TV block was covering the Nagoya Women's Marathon.
Since you weren't here last time, was there anything you wanted to mention from the previous episodes?
Just the human trafficking was crazy, man.
Well,
I can't. I think the part where they all got away with it, like,
I think. Because it was Zig and Aqua on last time, right? And I think they said they didn't get to watch both episodes last time, so maybe there was something that didn't get covered there. I don't know, but
maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember.
They might not have covered the pit fighting episode then.
Yeah, that might have been it.
Okay. Well, yeah,
I don't recall talking.
I do remember
they were mostly discussing the human trafficking.
I do remember the human trafficking. Yes,
I mean it was underground pit fighting. You know how I think that kind of spells itself out.
I mean, underground pit fighting is just a subgenre of the battle shonen.
You know, we did get a Greymon cameo.
Oh, really?
Yep. One of the dudes in the underground pit fighting has a Greymon, and Greymon gets his ass beat real quick.
Wow, damn,
really funny to me.
Fucking burying the old names, man. You know,
power creep, man. Yeah,
yep.
That's crazy, man.
That's
like if like
Pikachu showed up.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like if in Pokemon somebody else had a Pikachu or a Charizard, and they just fucking like ate shit immediately.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, I can appreciate it after all these years.
I actually kind of can.
Greymon, and then Greymon gets owned.
Because as we all know, it's not the Greymon.
Right,
it's
exactly.
not the Agumon.
It's just a Greymon.
Yes, exactly.
Calling out the Gen 1ers.
Exactly. Yes. If Pokemon were braver, like every new gen would open up with a trailer of the new starters stomping the previous starters into the dirt.
It's just evolution. Yeah,
exactly.
It's just always that same little intro or like Gengar is fighting like Nidorino, except every time it's something else fighting Gengar, and Gengar gets his ass beat every time.
God.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
that's Digimon. Still going.
let's move on to another show that I guess is still going with
Yeah.
Gnosia.
Yes.
Last time we talked about there was an ending, but then there were more
Yes.
episodes after
They
that.
are billing the last 3 episodes as an epilogue of sorts.
Right. And Iro, you didn't get to talk about the ending. Did you want to add anything on that, or you just want to
It
talk
was
about the new
fine.
episodes?
I think the like ending slides thing of showing each character and like what they then went on to do was hilarious. I believe they talked about that briefly on the podcast where it was
it's like a
so and so was never seen again.
Yeah. It's like Jonas died alone. Like Rockio led a revolution, and now there's a gloriously nude statue of them in the plaza, or like or whatever. Rockio the NB with a canonically huge dong.
As you do.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
real Fire Emblem style ending. Yeah.
Yep. So the epilogue has been Yuri going, well, I need to save Setsu, even though they've gone to another dimension. So I'm going to start New Game Plus. They do not say it in those terms, but they basically say it in those terms. Yuri grabs another silver key because the original one was in Rockio's drawer the whole time, I guess. And so Yuri's like, I'm going to use this silver key and go to another dimension and find Setsu and save them so we can all have a happy ending for everybody. And Rockio's like, you're dumb. Here's the strategy guide that I compiled for you overnight. here's all my strats for how to game the Gnosia.
Man,
every time you guys describe this, I'm on the border of, is this good leading into the video game aspect, or is it bad leading into the video game aspect? And
it's not
watching
doing it
I
too
can't decide.
egregiously, right? It's like if you're familiar with how games work, then you can see past the code. But it broadly makes sense in universe.
Right.
So yeah, that was like leading up to that was the main focus of these first 2 epilogue episodes that we've seen, and we get into a big and the end of the second of these 3 episodes is Yuri goes to another dimension, and we play the opening, and we get a big montage of like Yuri going through Gnosia again,
doing it all over again.
Yep. And here's all the events that we couldn't fit into the main anime. Here's other versions of Yuri doing things with all these other characters, etc. Until the cliffhanger of the second of these 3 episodes is that Setsu there opening the pod? Are we gonna save them finally? And it's like, of course we will. It'll be fine. We seem to be also leaning into like the closest thing to an antagonist that has been in this show is Manan, SQ's evil mother, who also possessed the Kukrushka robots and killed everybody that one time. And they might be involved in this dimension hopping as well. And whatnot. I mean...
So how much time do you have left?
There's one episode remaining, yeah.
Okay.
As of this recording.
That seems ambitious to wrap this up in one.
I think it'll be... in some ways, yes, and in some ways, it's like, it's really just... How do we have Yuri and Setsu be happy together?
It does feel like it's always you could probably tie up loose ends and get to this endpoint relatively quickly, right? Like based on how you've described the epilogue episodes, they kind of are already meant to be sort of time compressed to begin with.
Yeah. I guess like a lot of it is we already saw, you're like kind of looping things that already happened, and you can just kind of
gloss over it. Yeah,
right. Yeah.
It is kind of cool to hear that they are like committing to like. I mean, I'm kind of with Gel where I'm not sure if this is like a, if like copying this stuff makes it a good adaptation of a game or not, but like, it kind of reminds me of like, it's I guess I find it novel to hear that they are attempting this and, based on your description, Eero, it sounds like they are at least to some extent pulling it off. Because I remember that like when we spoke highly of the Nier Automata anime, I think the thing we kind of appreciated is that it did not feel like it had to resort to revealing the artifice of the video game too heavily.
Right. And I would say within the fiction of what is happening on screen, it is not doing that, not really doing that. It is just like metatextually, you know, when Rakio is like, I've compiled notes of how you should act to like for optimal Gnosia in or whatever, and like that is extremely consistent with Rakio's character that we've seen so far.
That's the thing.
Right?
I mean, so it can be can be both meta and in-universe diegetic, right?
Right.
Like it's
and I think it's sort of riding that line fairly well.
Sure.
Right.
Okay.
It's not like he literally made here's a strategy guide for the game, but because of our sort of meta knowledge of how these games work, it also feels like that's what he's doing. Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Interesting. Okay. What a fascinating show this has been. Quite a ride. But I guess we're at the end. Do you want to make any predictions? Since
I mean, what's my prediction? It's all happy ending in the end.
They will
right?
get the happy ending. Yeah. Yes. Okay. All right.
I do not expect any big bombs at the end here.
Right. Not enough time for that, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move along. Let's talk about Frieren Beyond Journey's End, Season 2. I guess we're going demon hunting.
Yep.
I
sure
think there was a point at the end of episode 1 where the realization hit me that was like, oh, this is going to be the rest of the season, isn't it? Which is not necessarily a bad thing. I guess we'll see. But I think, as we've expressed before, maybe like longer, more action-heavy arcs are not necessarily our favorite thing with Frieren. But we've also had an entire like 6 or 7 episodes before this of, the low stakes, thing of the week.
No, I do think that in it, like platonically, this season's like composition is actually close to maybe like what would be my ideal version of Frieren, right? Which is like, 3/4 or 2/3 like episodic adventure, introspective, journeys into, the fleeting nature of mortality. And then like 1/4, a dash of cool shonen spectacle.
Quote unquote, the serious parts.
Yes. And I think, like, here's the thing. Despite me saying that, I also will also kind of agree that, like, this is the weakest this season of Frieren has been for me.
Yeah.
It
wasn't, and again, I'll say this even for our criticisms of the last season, like, it wasn't that it ever gets bad, right? It's like,
no.
It's still, I think for what they're trying to accomplish, they're doing a pretty good job with it. I mean, so we run into, and even the first episode, we run into, I can't remember her name, the lady from
Matel?
What, Method?
Method, or something like that.
Yeah.
We run into her, whose main character trait is that she likes touching young girls.
Her main character trait is she has the Millie Thompson hair vents.
I probably could have phrased that better.
The most clickbaity description of her you could possibly give.
Probably could have phrased that better.
She loves to dote on the youngins.
She likes to give head pats.
Yes.
She really, really likes to give head pats.
I mean,
your auntie who's like, "Oh, you're so cute.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ruffle your hair."
I mean, let's be honest. They're kind of going for the mommy energy with that one. But
she could, like G said, she got the hair vents, the old school hair vents.
Yes.
I mean, I guess they also maybe just wanted to play into the whole like Frieren is thousands of years old, yet anyone who sees her just wants to be like, "Aw, aren't you adorable?"
Right. Yes.
And give Fern an excuse to make the pouty face. It's fine, right? But and I don't even, was that other guy around?
He was like the proctor. of.
Okay, I couldn't remember. Like, I assumed he was around, but I did not remember him at all because he just looks like generic anime man.
Uh-huh.
And I kind of liked the first episode because it felt like we were almost like a murder mystery type of thing a little bit, but magic. I didn't really mind bringing back that she was one of the less annoying characters from the exam arc or whatever, so that was fine. And I do for the guy that I can't remember his name either. I mean, I couldn't remember him at all, but I think they are doing a pretty good job balancing him with being the sort of like very obviously very traumatized by what he's experienced, but he hasn't like totally lost all of his human emotion or whatever, right? I think they're doing an okay job with that kind of plot line that they're going with. But it does seem we are committed to kind of having a more actiony type of demon hunting arc here. We're fighting a big demon that has the most powerful ability. Well, if the most powerful ability you can have in anime is dual wielding, he can dual wield. He's got 4 swords.
Yep.
So,
as we all know, if one sword is 100 power and 2 swords are 200 power.
I guess 4 swords is...
I'm willing to give this one more leeway because I hate that for a normal, well, quote unquote, normal kind of fight. But considering he also has 4 arms, it makes more sense. He's not.
I mean, yes. All jokings aside, right? Like for anime, being a 4-armed snake man is like not.
Well, here's the thing.
Ridiculous.
I feel like once we actually see him fight, I feel like they buried the lead that he's also a giant snake man with amazing strength and agility. I don't think it's the 4 swords that's the problem.
Right.
His 4-sword fighting style is like kind of dull.
Right. That's used of your problems fighting this guy. So
my thing when they kind of made him more of a front and center character and he had some lines is and show his entire body, like his whole kind of snake lower half with his upper forearmed half and the swords, is that he looks like, I don't know, like a cross between what's the Naruto villain, like Orochimaru and I don't know, some other villain, some other big bad Shonen Jump kind of villain,
right?
And yet his voice when he speaks is like, could just be like, and they call me Bob, like,
right.
Did you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have a villain voice. He just has a regular guy voice.
I mean, I think in general, I feel like Frieren, like, and this has been the thing, like, to the point where now it's just part of his identity now. He's always been a weirdly, like, subdued show emotionally or expressively.
Right.
Like, there are not a lot of, like, shouty people in Frieren. Like, not even... the warriors in this show are shouty,
Yeah, which I like. I don't generally enjoy shouty shows. I think they just the shouting is mostly
but I do what you
for the lack of everything else.
Right, but I see what you mean when it's like it's a little weird when like everybody is so subdued.
Mm-hmm. Right. Not just subdued, but like they could still make him subdued but have This is not me critiquing the voice cast or anything. It was just of note that I noticed in that episode. They could have given him, for example, a way deeper voice, and still made him talk quietly, or a more whispery voice and still made him talk quietly.
Most of the demons we've seen have been broadly just humans with horns on their head.
Just
he's
guys,
like legitimately this like huge monster thing, and
right,
he's just a guy when he talks. Right, it is a little weird or
Sephiroth.
Funny,
he looks like Sephiroth, kind of, with the long hair and
yeah, I see it.
But the voice is not particularly deep. It's not that whispery, creepy voice. It's not like it's kind of just not anything. He's just a guy. He's just a guy. He's just a regular dude. With a snake body.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, once we kind of get the plot set up and they discover, what happened or who's behind all of this, we're diving right into the action bits. We did at least get one good recurring joke with everyone chewing on the hardtack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
You
They got
don't,
strong teeth.
you don't bite directly into hardtack. You smash it up and put it in soup. Like
Yes.
you soak it in coffee or whatever.
Yeah, you're not supposed to bite the hardtack. I also find it funny how they keep talking about, oh, we can't get soft bread because of supply lines. I'm like, couldn't you just bring flour and make bread? Isn't that what you would normally have to do? But
Well, yeah, but like that's actually very difficult to transport, especially if you're like hiking, like bringing flour or like oatmeal or something. Like
I think maybe what we're getting at is that everybody in this cast is magic, and you'd think
okay, well, I mean,
magic,
put it in the bag of holding. Yeah,
yes,
I'm sure they could figure something out, but yes, you're not supposed to just bite into hardtack, but it did
at some point. Yeah, I guess at some point, dealing with like the real logistics of going on a long journey is outside of the scope of a JRPG adventure, right?
Hey, guess what, guys? There was a really good anime that came out a year or two ago that's entirely about this.
Yeah. So, but yes, it was funny when they're trying to have a serious conversation and you hear Fern crunching in the background. So
it's pretty good.
It was pretty good. So yeah, I'm fine with this. Now, if this was going to go on for like 6 to 8 episodes, I would have a problem. But if this just becomes like
that would be quite problematic, wouldn't it?
And well, how many episodes do we have left? Well, we already spent 2 on this, right? So I don't know.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not commenting on this arc. I'm just saying holistically.
There could be others, yes.
It would be a shame if Frieren spent
more than... Yeah. If this just becomes a 3 or 4 episode, demon slaying arc, sure. I'm not too mad about that. And, because I will say, as much as I enjoy the episodic adventures, that also grows tiresome if that's the only thing you're doing. We joke about the formula of thinking back to what Hymn of the Hero thought, and
mm-hmm.
they get a little formulaic, right? So breaking it up is fine, but
I think so, and that's why I say to go back to the top of this, like. On some level, like, this is the platonic ideal of how I think a Frieren, like a 12 episode, or I guess in this case 10 episode season should play out for me.
Yeah. And as always, when they do need to do action, they do the action pretty good.
Yeah, the show knows how to turn it on for sure.
The fight. The fight, we basically see the fight kicking off, right? So we've got the big snake man is attacking Stark, and the dude that I can't remember his name.
I don't know what he cares.
I had to look it up. I think it's Ganao.
Sure. Okay, that sounds about right.
You could have said anything, and I probably would have believed
something.
You.
I know it was with a G, right? I do remember G.
Akugaze went on Akugaze found that extremely funny because I'm told that Ganao is like just one of those like little phrases that one says in German, like kind of like something type thing, like that you just that put guy. At the end of your sentence like all the time,
sure.
right?
Okay,
that guy, it's that guy. But
yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, we kicked it off, and then we got our ones on the other side with his minions or whatever fighting Fern and
lady with blindfold and big katana.
Yeah. So
just
how are you guys feeling about the kind of dialogue ratio versus not necessarily action, but like not dialogue ratio, I guess. Like,
I think this is one of those cases where, like, I actually don't mind when Frieren is a talky show during the episodic bits, but I think the ways in which it is talky, I don't think, like, here's the thing. We have all watched enough shonen or battle style anime in our lives to know that, like, dialogue spliced into the action is just part of the formula, right? We all know this. But I think some shows and works are better at it than others, and I think when it comes to Frieren, I think when they start talking, it definitely is like I would say on the lower end of the tier list of like how it handles it. Like there's that conversation where like Frieren and Fern are like, but I thought demons only specialized in one magic, and Frieren was like, let me explain that.
In the middle of being rained on by comets, yes.
And it's just like okay, like I don't know, what was this a super necessary conversation?
Yeah,
right. Because the show is so like placid much of the time, like with the dialogue, no matter what else is going on, like it can kind of drain some of the tension when
I think so. Yes,
even when it's supposed to be taken seriously, they're not really taking it that seriously, right?
Right.
And, like it works.
And sometimes that works.
Sometimes, right? Like especially earlier on when it's like Frieren's like, oh, it's like this is the level of threat. This is nothing because I'm super old, right? But like you can only do that so many times. Like they're trying to present what's happening now as a genuine potential threat to to everybody, right?
Yeah.
And
although I still feel like Frieren doesn't seem too
right
bothered by all of this.
She doesn't, but I don't know if she would be bothered by her actual imminent death either.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like she's not the kind of like I don't know if I've ever seen anyone, any main like focal point character in the show panic. They just kind of accept what's going on and deal with it. And if they die, they die. And if they don't, they don't. And either way, they're still not going to panic about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Stark is kind of our like designated character who raises his voice a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, he's certainly the most like emotional, as an emotionally
emotive,
giving. Yeah, anything.
Right, but like in this episode, I mean, Fern's like, I can't take this one. But she's not like panicking about it, right? She's
just like, I'm not sure about this. Like, I think you might have it wrong.
Yeah.
And Freewood's just kind of joking. No, I don't. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure she has a plan, right? But yeah.
Shoot it with magic missile.
Yep.
Yes. Cast magic missile at level 9.
Yep.
I don't even know if she's the plan. I don't even know if she's the plan type. Like I don't like. She's never really struck me as the type to like. Yes. Well, you see, all along,
no,
I was playing the long game, and if you did this, and then I did this, and then actually the demon would do this. She's just like
Fern's plan is perfect parry and plus on block until you win.
It's more like just having trust in their own competence.
Right. Her plan is usually throw Stark and maybe Fern at it and to distract them while I orbital laser them from, wherever. So, yeah.
Yeah. And then funny you mentioned Sephiroth earlier, Artemis, because that dude's like super special secret magic is supposed to be, that feels like it's meant to be some kind of grand reveals, just like, and I summon wings.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, at least it's 2 wings and not 1.
My golf black feather wings.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, man, I guess.
So, I guess we'll see if that guy survives the next episode. Well, that was how they were building the tension, right? They're throwing the death flags on him, and then Stark decides to stay with him, right? So that's the tension. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that guy's gonna make it though.
Pretty unbalanced.
I don't know if he will or not. I think he might, but he also might not. Either way,
I wouldn't be shocked either way, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, we're a pretty unbalanced party. We have 1 warrior, like 3 mages, and 1 mage priest. Like.
It was funny when he was like, "Are you sure you're not going to go with them?" And I was kind of half expecting Frieren and Fern to say, "Actually, he's the one holding us back."
Right? Yeah. All right.
Can't even one random contingency.
Yeah. One random note. I watched a little bit of the dub for the first time.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I've never seen the Frieren dub, and it's interesting. They gave Frieren a very deep, mature voice.
Huh. Okay.
which was interesting. It was a little jarring, to be honest.
Huh? Yeah.
Like to
I
try
kind of
and make her sound older, or
yeah, because like I hadn't heard of the voice actress before. I looked it up, and I guess she seems to do a lot of moms and teachers.
Sure.
But that was a bit jarring because it's like I'm assuming they're going for the oh well she's actually thousands of years old or whatever kind of thing. But she's also a magical elf, and she technically has
Wayfish.
the body of a petite young woman, right? So like it was
That's a very.
I feel like her Japanese voice gets that balance pretty good. As far as like sounding both mature but also kind of appropriate for her physical form.
That strikes me as a very dub-like decision, which is not to say it's bad or anything. Just like
I probably would get. I would probably if they start if I wasn't used to the Japanese voice, I probably would have been fine with it. But it was.
I'm thinking of like, and this is not necessarily a good comparison, but like Goku in the dub.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, that's a very unique.
Sure,
that's
but
a very unique
mean.
situation. But yes, that's a very jarring if you haven't heard his Japanese voice before. That's a very jarring change.
Yeah. I'm assuming though that people like either choose beforehand or as they're about to push play to watch the dub or the sub, and they don't necessarily switch between them. They're just like, I want to listen to this. Okay, let's do that then, kind of thing.
Yeah. But yeah, it was interesting. And then I was also reminded because she makes an appearance. They did actually, even in the Japanese, they give Sari a very deep voice. So I don't know, maybe it's just perception. The Goku thing is a funny comparison, though. I do remember that. The first time I heard that was like when we got the one of the bootleg tapes from the store at the mall, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna watch the newer episodes that aren't on TV yet, and then we hear Goku with the voice of a old woman. Like, what is that?
I will say, lately Kineko Video put out those like film scans of some Dragon Ball episodes, and like I did watch a couple of those, and the difference between like Masako Nozawa voicing like kid Goku and then like end of Dragon Ball grown up Goku fighting at the Tenkaichi Budokai, like it is noticeably different, right?
It is different,
it's down a lot,
right? But
you hang in there, Nozawa-sama. You keep doing what you're doing.
Keep going, Queen. Right? Happy Women's Day.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to talk about Journal with Witch. I don't know who all got to watch today's episode since we record on Sunday.
I did watch today's episode.
Okay, but
not yet. But feel free to talk about it.
So
it's not really a spoiler show. It's just
Yeah, I think I'll throw this out here again as I had put out as a minor criticism, and I don't even know if it's really criticism or just sometimes this style doesn't vibe with me. How this show really just kind of leaps all over the place.
Oh, I like that a lot,
and I do. I think I mostly like it. It does kind of, and I think it fits pretty well, particularly in the latest episode because of. I feel like they're intentionally going for a thing where Asa is trying to absorb multiple perspectives, so we're just like jumping to scene to scene to scene of different things happening with different people.
And as far in some ways I also like that's very fitting to like the type of like neurodivergence that the show's sort of
that's true,
right?
It's like there is a we can't focus on one thing for too long type of energy to it. I guess.
I think it depends on the character. I understand the jumping a lot when Asa is concerned because so much of the show is her processing basically what's going on, and trying to come to terms with not multiple realities, but like.
The vast reality she finds herself in.
Right. Multiple parts of that reality, I suppose.
And
if they do it all the time with all the characters, it gets
And it is. I would say these episodes are mostly focused on Asa, right? And she is the kind of I guess plot device is she is trying to write song lyrics, which it took me back because I was about her age when I tried to start songwriting.
Oh my god!
I think the bit where she's like, my parents are dead, my aunt's a writer, and I should be good at music, so why aren't I?
Right.
It's like the funniest shit.
It speaks to anyone who has decided that they are gonna undertake any kind of artistic endeavor as a child or teenager and struggling,
but it's
really struggling.
I don't think you quite realize it at the time, but looking back, it's like, what do you know as a 15-year-old to like write in a song other than like, oh, I got a crush on a girl or something. That's like, that's all I got, right? But that is kind of what we see in these 2 episodes. Is she's then she becomes more, I would say, observant of what's going on around her and starts like looking at what are other people, because she doesn't know. The question keeps up, well, what do you want? What do you want to do? Like, what is, what are you passionate about? What are you good at? That kind of stuff. And that's a question that comes up a lot in anime that I feel like is being handled much better here than like practically anything I've ever seen tackling this question. But
because the answer here is kind of you're 15 and don't know anything. So
there's not like a nice clean
just observe
answer
the world.
to it. Yeah. It's not like she just like suddenly discovers she's amazing at writing song lyrics and now that's her thing. Instead she starts observing what are other people into, what gets them what are they interested in, what gets them upset, what is it that's I think about the end of this latest episode when there's that girl who was like applying for, I don't know what it was, and
like
she gets
med
mad.
School or something, I think.
Yeah, and she gets mad because that seemed like a very specific thing where, like, I guess they were deducting points from her exam because she was
it was like a news story of like like revealed like the judges for like the med school exams like just flat out minus points if you're a woman.
Yeah,
or whatever, which strikes me as a very like I feel like I saw headlines to that effect at some point in real life.
Just trying to hold down women in STEM, right? But
glass ceiling.
Yeah. But I'm joking, but that's true. So yeah, like but that was just like a random thing of like, oh well, that's what she's passionate about. And she was everyone was shocked that this like girl that was very cool up to this point is like losing it over this, right? And the way they build this all based on Asa's observation and not like just telling it to us is very like well done, I think. And we meet another one of her inspirations is Makio's cool writer friend that comes over.
Envy writer friend?
Possibly.
I'm getting that vibe, right? But
yeah, they at some point they describe themselves as an auntie, but I think there's some. I'm not gonna.
Make a declarative statement one way or the other.
They don't make any clarifications on their gender. Let's just say, but they definitely raise some questions. So, yeah. So they're kind of a cool character to kind of inspire Asa a bit to again, explore who you are, and we even get the more subplot with her friend, which I thought was very interesting in the latest episode. I think we were all thinking he was going to go the obvious route of, oh, she must be in love with Asa, and that's going to be
and then it's like, no, she's just a lesbian and has other friends
at most.
Right.
Like maybe she clocked that was not going to happen and moved on. And but
there's the bit where she's talking to her presumed girlfriend, I guess, but where she's like, when Asa texted her that her parents died or whatever, she describes it as, I had the sudden feeling that like now I can never quit being friends with Asa.
right?
right, and that
And it's like not that
struck me as very like a
Yeah.
real kind of emotion, right?
Yeah. It's hard to explain without sounding like an asshole, but also like
No, it's I completely
I totally
understand.
understood what she was saying with
Yeah.
like
It's type of like a complex emotion that anime
yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
often.
It's not
right.
it's a complex feeling, I think, because it's not like she doesn't want to be her friend, but it's
Right.
like, you've formed a connection maybe that you were not expecting. And if there is like, you know, if she did have feelings for her or something and now she's trying to move on, or that makes it more complicated, right? But
Right.
just very complex and nuanced kind of insight, as the show is very good at usually, right?
Yeah.
I guess we don't get too much of Makio other than she's going through writer's block.
Yeah. I mean, we've had plenty of Makio throughout, so
Yeah.
like shifting the focus, especially as we're like getting closer to the end, I think makes sense. Like,
Yeah. They kind of have the big her big moment is the realization that, she has formed a permanent bond as well with
right.
Asa at this point.
It's
Which,
not just I'm taking care of this kid for a while. It's like, no, you have become the
right.
the sort
Because
of
she's like,
parent.
oh well, I just got to take care of her for the next 3 years or whatever till she goes to college, and she's an adult, and her friend is like,
Haha,
which
no.
to be clear, would still be a very large commitment.
Yes.
yes, but and she's like, your mom still treats you like a kid, right? You still think of your mom as your mom, and even though you're not her mom, that is the type of
You are the primary adult presence
position
in her
you're
life.
putting yourself in. It's like, yeah. Show's pretty good.
I was gonna ask Artemis last time on the podcast, like you had some like criticisms of the show.
Yeah. I feel like I was not too harsh, but I feel like they were criticisms, but they weren't by any means this is why I don't like the show or anything. It's still a very good show.
I was just gonna ask, like, do you feel like any of them have been like addressed?
Yeah, to some degree. I mean, the show just kind of is what it is. My criticisms, I guess, like you guys, if they could even be called criticisms or just what the show is, like what the show is, what it's intentionally going for, that kind of thing. So, my feelings on those criticisms per se just kind of depend on the episode. But I'm generally good with the show. I did particularly enjoy, I guess, given I mean I haven't watched the very newest episode, so I'm gonna say 2 episodes ago when Asa skips school, right? And they go out looking for her.
Yeah.
And the part I really enjoyed. The part I really enjoyed about that episode is finally they're like, oh, how about we just try this bubble tea shop, like boba tea, and then the next minute they just skip to them all drinking.
Yeah.
and us is just sitting there like, oh my god,
stupid. Yes. Oh no, I skipped school.
And everyone else.
3 adults have shown up to wrangle.
And they're not interested. I mean, they're going to tell her off, but they're not interested in doing it then. They're all just like, well, we're here. Like, let's just go have a chat amongst ourselves and drink some good tea, eh?
It's kind of a great bit of insight, especially in the parts of these adults, I think. Because I think, I mean, not to get too child psychoanalyst, right? But usually in these sorts of situations, right, kind of, I think when a young person is breaking the rules or lashing out like this, usually what they are expecting is the adults to behave as enforcers of arbitrary law, right? And kind of what Makio and the crew do kind of smartly. And Makio still does genuinely scold Asa later, but in the moment, it's the quickest and most effective thing you can do to disarm an unruly teenager is to just be an uncool adult in their presence.
Yeah.
Yes.
It just sucks all the tension out of the room. It defangs the resistance entirely, right? It's just
yeah.
it is the story I hear of parents doing 6-7 to make their children stop doing it. Right, because once the adults do it,
you did
it's
not
no
just
longer
throw that into the conversation. Get out of
no,
here.
my friend is an uncle and has explicitly discussed with me like here's how I'm gonna like do the memes wrong on purpose to like keep up this like kind of awkward to keep up the uncle act, right? Like
Right.
Right. Yeah.
it robs them of their power.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
I liked in this case, I liked both the how we're going to approach this parenting aspect part, but also just the execution, just the jump cut from them arriving at the tea shop to them.
Yeah.
Like they skip seeing Asa for the first time. They skip any kind of like, hey, like they skip any kind of
Yeah.
like, relief kind of thing. And they just jump right into the drinking boba, chatting casually part, which was very good.
Yeah.
And it's those kinds of like decisions, storytelling decisions, I think that I appreciate a lot about the show too. It's not all about dealing with the psychological trauma and the the grief and loss, which is still extremely important, obviously, and I'm happy with that too. But also they do know how to give the story the lighthearted feel when it needs it, and not weigh it down with dialogue if it doesn't warrant it.
Yeah.
Right.
And after you brought it up last time, now I am also like, what was with her dad actually?
Right? Thank you.
What's with him?
I was like, did I hallucinate a scene in which like they hinted something way back in episode 1, and they did kind of go there, and at the end of that episode 2, when Asa kind of breaks down and she's crying and she says, my mom and my dad are dead. I think it's the first time she actually says my dad is dead as well, because she's always thinking about only her mom. Her dad just never really enters the picture that that the audience is aware of when she's thinking about her parents.
And so I feel like in the past couple episodes, they've like been trickling tiny drops of of her dad be like as like this almost ghost-like presence of just like barely factors into the memories at all, it seems.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is like
it feels intentional, right?
Yes,
I wonder
commentary on
if because I mean, not to go too deep into it, like I'm not suggesting that this is necessarily where the story is going, but maybe he just wasn't very present. Like it is fairly normal still in a lot of Japanese, like traditional Japanese families, that the dad is the one going out to work and the mum is at home being a housewife. And so the contact that a child will have with their father, especially when they're younger, might not be that much, because they literally only see them for an hour a day, if that, kind of, like I don't know what kind of job this guy has, or or if they were even living together, like were they? I don't know. Like
it seemed like they were.
There was a flashback. I don't remember if it was the latest episode or the one before, of them eating breakfast together in the morning.
Right.
Okay.
Oh no, wait, no, that wasn't Asa. That was her friend, actually.
Like when she's like gets the like mug or whatever, the flashback to that, isn't he there?
Yeah, and there was the flashback with her at the choir competition thing.
Yeah.
It's
like
he's
it's
there.
bits like that where I'm like, it seems to me almost intentional that they're
like
having him be this sort of like like vague presence.
He was not a big presence.
But they did make it clear that even though it might not have been, I don't know how clear it was to Asa or is to Asa, but that the mom probably wanted to get married, right, and have a kid together and have a family together and be a family unit.
And he did not want to,
and the dad was just like, well, I think they imply like I'll be a father because that is the correct thing to do.
But not because he wants to.
But they did not get married. Like they have different last names.
They did not get married, and he is not necessarily interested in pursuing a deeper relationship with her.
Right. yeah, just complex situations, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we're here for, I guess. So
How
okay,
Kasamachi's father is a larger presence in the story than Asa's father.
yeah, right.
And can I also say best character? Like I would
Kasamachi,
say
yeah.
best character. I really like him as a character. I think he's pretty well done.
They were like, oh yeah, when they broke up was like 5 years ago. It's like, oh buddy, he's down bad.
Yeah,
Poor
yeah,
guy
yeah.
was going
Yeah,
for it this whole time.
yeah. All right. Well, that show's good.
Yeah.
I think perhaps could we say the opposite end of the spectrum? we will end with Fate Strange Fic.
Sure.
So
not
here
in being good,
begins.
not in being good, but in content and style and storytelling. Yes.
Well, yes, here begins the legend of John Strange Fake.
It's a John Wingard.
All right. Well,
Silly old John.
with these, we had a lot of setup. It's been a while. We finally get to smash our toys together.
Oh yeah.
It is time to have this mystical fist fight in a Denny's parking lot in L.A. at 2 a.m.
Yep.
So we got
the Battle of Gods.
It is indeed a lot of toys smashing together.
Several key figures on the battlefield.
All right, let me try. Let me see if I can lay it all out.
Okay, go ahead.
From memory. So Tsubaki Kuroka is in a coma with False Rider, who is spraying black gas everywhere, and
Right.
So some people want to heal her to get rid of this problem.
We should point out she's a small child who is
in a coma.
In the hospital. In a coma.
So some characters want to kill her to get rid of the problem at source, like Mafia Dude and True Archer Alcides. They're here to do that because it's the simplest option.
Since he did burn all of his command seals to basically make Alcides willing to kill a child.
Yep. And so there's that. Chief Orlando Reeve and the cops have teamed up with Flat Escardos and Fake Berserker to
aka Jack the Ripper.
Yep, to protect her and so that they can deal with this situation in a way that does not involve shooting a child in the head.
And naturally, the two people we send to deal with the not shoot a child in the head problem are an assassin who knows 96 ways to crush your heart and a child soldier.
Yeah. Yes. And then, yes, Sigma and Fake Assassin are also kind of involved in, well, we're going to protect a child because it's a child. And they are also aligned with Ayaka and Saber. And then False Archer Gilgamesh has also shown up just to be a dick and shoot at everybody.
Yes.
Just to fuck around. And because he decides to fuck around, that introduces more people.
Yes.
But I think broadly we can split this into like this arc we are dealing with is basically split into three major fronts, right? You have Alcides versus the cops and Jack the Ripper. You have Gilgamesh versus Saber, Richard the Lionheart. Excalibur, King Arthur fanboy, Richard the Lionheart. And then you have Sigma and Fake Assassin versus Jester Cartour, the vampire.
Yes. I thought you were going to say the three factions were going to be willing to kill a child, not willing to kill a child, and Gilgamesh. But
sure, I mean that is
actually kind of
Gilgamesh is totally willing to kill a child. Is the thing.
Okay.
Yes, but
I mean,
but he doesn't care though.
Right, that's true. Yeah,
yeah.
He would do it just cause, not because of any actual reason.
And what makes it fascinating, right, is I mean, if you want to split into those factional lines, both Gilgamesh and Alcides are willing to kill a child, but also they are more willing to kill each other than kill the child.
Right.
You know, and I think this is kind of where we get into like the fun, chaotic like battle royale feeling of it. Like eventually everybody does split into their matchup, right? But there is this sense that like this battle exists on, like, this war exists on a knife's edge, and like shit could go crazy any moment, and it does, arguably it does in some very big ways at the end of these episodes. But I think talking about the first episode, right, which is primarily Alcides versus Jack the Ripper,
Yep.
we get
Never use your Bankai first.
Yes, Jack. No, don't. Never use your noble phantasm first. We all know this. He who reveals his trump card first always loses. Yep. But
you're gonna get Uno reverse card. It's gonna happen
every time, right? And so naturally, Jack is like, my cop shadow jutsu isn't working. In which he tries to bum rush Alcides with just 1,000 identical looking beat cops.
Having 10 dudes like plinking at Cerberus with pistols is so funny to me.
He's very good, yes. So
and then, like, everyone else is just like, what the fuck is going on?
The cops don't really do much. Like, for as much as it is a quote unquote alliance, the cops really do not do much these episodes other than just stand on the sidelines and go, "This is fucking crazy." So Jack the Ripper's like, I guess I'll have to reveal my trump card. Did you know that this is some real, like, I guess Jack the Ripper...
I guess the concept of Jack the Ripper could do that.
Could transform into a demon.
Yeah.
A laser shooting
behold,
demon.
Epic Blast.
Yes. His noble phantasm called From Hell.
Yeah.
Where he summons 7 phantasmal spirits, each representing a theorized identity of who Jack the Ripper historically may have been, who fusion dance into a single super demon, and tries to optic blast Alcides. And
give it a good
looks
try.
really cool.
It was a good shot.
It was a good shot, and this is the thing that's delightful about Fate, right? Because of course this looks like a big, super duper final attack, but I think, as we all know, right, every battle shonen or every battle focused story is either a Dragon Ball Z or a JoJo. And Fate Stay Night at times, or Fate as a whole, often looks like a Dragon Ball. But I think, as we all know, secretly, Fate is a JoJo. And thus, noble phantasms that are just a Kamehameha
only work when it's narratively convenient.
Yes, and are often way weaker than the noble phantasms that are "fuck you, I win" buttons.
Yep.
And Alcides has one in the form of what is it called?
Reincarnation Pandora.
Yes. Turns phantasm. Out, because Heracles was famous for stealing shit in the myth, he's really good at stealing shit, including other people's noble phantasms.
Very silly. So I think you were like, hang on, he could always do this, and it's like, I think the offered explanation in margins and whatnot is like, this is the like Avenger class Heracles Noble Phantasm, right?
Sure.
So he gets access to from the Grail Mud.
That Grail Mud.
Yeah,
keeps causing problems. Keeps causing problems.
Yeah. Didn't Jack have another noble phantasm that had a better name? I'm trying to remember.
Natural Born Killers.
Yes.
That's the one that lets him split into multiple bodies.
But
which he still has. Of course. That one's not stolen.
Right. So yeah, that of course did not work. Poor Jack.
But you know what would work? One man brave enough to enter the arena. One man standing between the god walking the earth, Alcides. One man, John Strange Fake himself,
Wingard,
putting his dukes up.
Hold on. I just to paint a little more of a picture. We have to remember. Okay, first of all, he did he die or almost die in the first episode or something like that?
Okay, so John Wingard is the cop who gets his arm cut off by Jester Cartour.
Right.
And in the previous episode, Alexander Dumas gives him a robot arm and is like, "Trust me, buddy, this'll be useful later."
Yep, you have the most protagonist coded of these dumb cops, so I can use my noble phantasm on you. Yeah,
I laughed so hysterically after he got that upgrade, and then
gets slapped to the side.
It's immediately just
pulverized
instantly after his big upgrade. But no, he gets his big moment here. G, as you're saying,
just fucking tries, stances up in this fucking Wendy's parking lot, between a hospital and fucking Hercules
with his magic robot arm. But he's otherwise just a guy.
Is like this is brave, but this is reckless, or something.
Something like that.
Yep. And just basically does the fucking anime, does the Superman flick, and just. Just they cut to fucking John's body on the receiving end of this attack, and he is fucking
paste.
Yeah,
paste. Yeah, he looks like a jigsaw puzzle. You just spilled on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's so good. And we get the payoff in the next episode, of course, but when I remember watching that episode and being like, what was your master plan, Dumas?
that was so good. There was only one other moment in these episodes that rivaled that, but we'll get to that later. But that was very, very good. But it turns out that I guess Alkaides is pretty hard to stop here.
He's got that armor.
Yes. And kind of as we go into the second of these two episodes, we also it started in the first, but we also get some focus on the Gil-Richard fight, right? Which is kind of an interesting dynamic. I mean, this is kind of arguably the more conventional of the fights, because it's just Sword Guy versus Gil. Look,
we've seen Sword Guy fight Gilgamesh before.
We've seen this exact matchup so many times in Fate,
Yeah.
I think the fun gimmick of it probably is Richard's personality is just so personally off-putting to Gilgamesh.
Right. He's like a happy dog or something. Right.
Like being attacked by this golden retriever of a man.
Yes. He's just like, man, these are cool swords. Can I borrow these swords?
Yeah.
Which does lead to the very good. The one highlight of that battle is probably just
spam.
Richard is just good old Excalibur. If Gilgamesh is Lisa saying poor predictable Richard, always using Excalibur, and Richard is over here, his thought bubble is good old Excalibur, nothing beats that.
Yep.
And there's something just very goofy about this once legendary anime ability, right? The what's her name's line reading of Excalibur is part of the anime lexicon.
Yes. It's the big finishing move.
In Fate, Excalibur is 2 words, right?
Yes. Yeah. Meanwhile, Richard out here, this is like if Goku started the fight with spirit bombs.
Right.
He's just Excalibur,
right.
Excalibur times 2. It's a very goofy bit. And it all looks good, of course, but
yes,
yeah.
And what leads us just to the question of how does Ayaka provide this level of mana?
Right. I loved your explanation when I said, "Wait, how many Excaliburs could Saber pull off with Shiro as her master?" And you said 0.8 Excalibur,
right? Less than 1 Excalibur. Yeah. It's a block point. That's why they have to go fuck in the woods later.
So yes, the idea that Richard could be spamming Excaliburs like this is clearly meant to indicate that the Ayaka is
something
insane amount of energy that
we get.
As Hansa says not once but twice in this episode. What are you?
Yes, and we get a goofy little flashback to to the Fuyuki Church, Kotomine.
My God, it's Kotomine's
Yeah.
music.
There he is. We had to drag him in. We had to drag Joji Nakata into the booth at least one time for any given Type Moon work.
This is the part of like Fate, especially a Fate spinoff like this, where I'm like, that's so fucking crazy, but also I have zero clue what that's supposed to imply.
Well, we've gotten we got the brief flashbacks to the Red Hood and whatnot, the local urban legend of Fuyuki. So of course we have the Fuyuki Church show up. This means nothing to anybody who has not read Fate Hollow Ataraxia, which is probably a minuscule portion of the anime watching audience. This is for me.
That one was for you, Iro.
A lot of the show is for me.
I think I know what Hollow Ataraxia is,
Yeah,
but that's
it's
pretty
on
much
Steam.
all I got.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's out.
Yeah,
Yes. So there's that. There's a lot fucking going on.
So my other favorite part was when Sigma and Assassin run into the vampire guy,
Mhm.
and he's talking, and Sigma just caps him with
Yeah.
and just caps him mid sentence.
It's always
I
funny.
think the thing that works, I think the thing that makes Jester Cartour a really fun character, because usually this archetype of villain
Just
does not
cackling
do-
madman type.
does not do much for me, right? Just because, like, I find that, like, stories often meta-narratively treat them with, like, far more weight than they deserve.
Right.
And I think the thing that's so good about Jester Cartour is that both, like, the man has now been humiliated, like, multiple times in this show, right?
Yeah.
Like, Hansa just splashing the coffee in his face in the middle of his dumb monologue. Again, here, Sigma just being like, you talk too much, and just blasting him. It's very good. Like,
Yeah.
it defangs what would otherwise be, like, kind of an annoying villain
Right.
archetype in this story.
It helps when
Right.
every other character is also like, I'm sick of this asshole.
Yes.
It was very good. Yeah. So
Things kind of come to a head here at the end, right? Where probably our first big twist of this show. Could you even call it a twist? I feel like actually,
Which
what
what
happens?
are we talking
Okay,
about?
well, the end of the end of the episode, right? So where, or
Ishtar? Or
well, okay, like I guess there's multiple things here, right? So there
you mean
is
the Hydra poison. You mean Ishtar?
yeah, all right, fine. All right, well, so
things keep
the reveal.
happening.
Yes, the reveal that Alexander Dumas is so fucking funny to me
Walks
because,
by
like,
out
clearly
behind a tree.
this was probably meant to be like a bigger deal in the books, but here he just walks out from behind a tree.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yo, I'm Alexander Dumas,"
What's up?
and Flat is like, "The
Which
one who served under
one? Yeah.
Napoleon, or the one who wrote the Three Musketeers?" It's
Yeah.
very good, very funny, and I'm trying to figure out, like, how, as we just said, right, where Fate is secretly a JoJo, and thus I think it is fitting that old Dumas here, his noble phantasm, is another form of "fuck you, I win" button.
Mhm.
What's his
Musketeers
NP?
Masquerade.
Musketeer Masquerades, which, as far as I can tell, just as my understanding based on what is shown in this episode is just that if you are a person whose actions and personality seem befitting of a heroic narrative, Dumas can just rewrite reality.
To
Like,
broadly, right? Like, yeah.
he brought John Wingard back from the dead because
The
he
heroes
said,
always
"Well,
get back up, man.
yeah, heroes always." That's just bullshit logic. Like, what do you mean? Well, heroes always get back up. Thus, I could bring it back from the dead. Like, what?
Yes, even if you're a pile of like bones and viscera, just yeah, you're fine. Take it off.
Knitting your broken bones and flesh back together is the heroic thing to do.
Yeah.
Yep. It worked, didn't it?
It works. And so, by God, here it's John Wingard's music with the Hydra poison
Yep.
Yeah,
from
Iro,
the
you did.
top rope.
Iro, you did call the Hydra poison.
Yeah.
And of course, that Grail mud, huh?
The Grail Mud ruins everything.
That Grail mud ruins everything.
So it's just such a, like, only makes sense if you are too deep into fate, where upon getting hit with Hydra poison and absorbing Hydra poison, Alkaidi is like, I'm gonna go over there to shoot my big attack at somebody else. Because 9 lives is his noble phantasm. 9 lives, his big, I shoot Hydra head laser beams. So it's extra strong because he's got the Hydra venom coursing through him because it's a Hydra move.
Sure. That's why he did it, and that's why he did it, and not the cope of
shit. I gotta get out of here. Yeah,
you guys didn't win.
Oh, no. It's totally that too. Let's be real.
Yes,
Yeah.
I just thought
funny.
fucking...
Yes, they get him, and he's like, "You didn't get me." Leaves.
Yes,
I'm out.
Very good. Yes, just. I apologize to Dumas. I wasn't familiar with your game. I wasn't familiar with you could just write reality until the good guys win. It's so sure.
Yeah.
But related to that, right?
Try to kill a child.
Yeah, exactly. But
it's bad both politically and morally,
and bad for the narrative.
Yeah.
But that does lead to the end here, right? Where Alkaides decide, in classic battle royale fashion, like if you've ever played a Fortnite or a PUBG or an Apex,
now, instead of these two are fighting, now it's these two are fighting.
Right, you're like, actually, this team is too hard to fight. I'm going to go over there and shoot those guys instead. So Alkaides decides to take a shot at Gil instead, and so we get 9 lives versus Gilgamesh's, Super Gate of Babylon.
Just
it doesn't.
Babylon. It's always going to pull more shit out of there,
Yes. And this is kind of meant like kind of the first big kind of not twist, but I guess seemingly real consequence of this Grail War so far, which is a crazy thing to say about a show like 9 episodes in, but Philia shows up, and as I think some of us were beginning to speculate, she reveals that she is the Babylonian goddess Ishtar, who has taken over this Einsburn homunculus. And if you know anything about the heroic epic of Gilgamesh, you know that Ishtar is a major figure in that myth for many reasons. Yes.
Yes, I will say.
And basically just turns off Gate of Babylon.
Yes. Because you see, the catalyst used to summon Gilgamesh this time was the physical key to the physical vault of Gate of Babylon that once existed, right? And Gilgamesh was like, I don't need this shit. He just throws it away because he's a servant.
God, he did.
He's his servant mode, and that's just part of his servantness, right?
Right.
So, but that meant Ishtar could pick it up, and though a normal any normal mage or whatever would have no use for this artifact, because it's a fucking Ishtar. There's a metaphysical through line there, right?
Sure,
that she can use to turn it off.
Gilgamesh hoist by his own petard.
I know, for once. Yeah. Though it brings up the how do we nerf Gilgamesh? It's like, now you only have the shit you spat out today, right?
Can't bring any more.
What did he throw out of Gate of Babylon so far? What is currently outside? And
that Richard is not burning up, casting Excalibur over and over again. But yeah, it's a good, again, not twist, because here's the thing, as much as Gilgamesh is the de facto Fate strongest guy, Gil eats a lot of shit in Fate in multiple entries and multiple routes, right? He is in some ways.
Why make a strongest guy if you're not coming up with ways to kick his ass?
In some ways, Gilgamesh is the original Fate Stay Night punching bag of okay, fine, yes. I mean, multiple people share that role in the original Fate Stay Night, right? Berserker, Gil, but Gil is the litmus test of, if he's getting got, that's Nazu trying to explain to you that shit is real, right? It's Gilgamesh getting blitzed by Sakura in Heaven's Feel, right? It's
damn, self-defeated Vegeta.
Exactly, right? So it's not that out of turn, but I think the way in which it happens here, and the fact that Gil is the first of...
to, like, take a seemingly fatal blow, like...
Right, on the receiving end of a giant robot solar beam or something, which looks very cool, to be clear, but, you know.
Well, I'll note to Zig's credit, he has figured out the identity of True Berserker.
Oh, really?
Yes. As of this episode,
the giant robot.
Yep,
because of the laser.
Not necessarily from the laser, but he has figured out the identity.
I'm trying to remember. Doesn't Ishtar say something about it? Maybe.
Yeah. I think Ishtar says, like, "I'll let you go," but I don't think it will, right? And then
I can't remember exactly what she says. Maybe that's the clue there, but
right.
Better brush up on your Epic Guild.
I mean, that's the thing. So I would assume another thing related to Babylonia. I mean, that's why I guessed all the way back that I assume it's a Babylonian robot. But I was like, what the fuck am I even saying out loud?
Those ancient Babylonian robots.
But yes,
it's good times.
But yeah. Kind of a wild place to end, you know. I think very fun spectacle. I will say there are definitely elements of these last two episodes that have me sort of like somewhat validated by my take that I think Narita is very good at setup. Narita is maybe less good at execution.
Yeah.
I think these fights are cool. They're flashy. They're really visually exciting. I'm hooting and hollering, you know, when John Strange Fake gets back up, you know, like it's fun. It is fun. It is a little slapdash here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you could make this criticism like fairly saliently about Narita's other works too. Like, you sort of get this feeling in Baccano, but especially in Durarara, where it's like, it's almost like stuff just happens. All these factions are just colliding with each other in this scenario until, like, it's not that he has planned out who is sort of the de facto protagonist beforehand. It's just sort of whoever ends up rising to the top over the course of things happening, right? And so what that means is, as more things happen, it can be difficult to, like, get a handle on what even are the stakes here. Like, what are we even doing? Right, is kind of how it can end up, I think.
Yeah, and it's not like I need, like, some kind of, you know, big moral or message here, but also it just feels like there's no, like, reason. The characters have reasons they're fighting, but you don't feel any connection to that as the viewer. I don't feel like it's just like you really are writing like 99% spectacle.
Yes, because like in Fate Stay Night, of course, you have Shiro as the through line and his, you know, misguided or dramatic ideals of heroism, and also there's the element of I'm getting dragged into this, and if I don't do anything, I'll get killed. And then,
it feels like
Zero has like Kiritsugu's own weird crusade going on.
Right.
So there's through lines there, and here it's harder to get a hold of one.
It feels like maybe Ayaka's supposed to be that character, but they're not doing anything. They haven't been doing anything with her other than
instead she's
repeating
like,
the same "I'm not really a master" thing. You know,
you're a strange, mysterious girl. Right. It's like Sigma and Flat are kind of the other ones who are sort of main character-ish.
But they all have like pieces of a main character, but we're not quite there.
And that's very Ryoga Narita to me.
But
and you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
It's still fun though.
I'm having a lovely time. Yeah, because I get all the references.
One last question. Can you do this in 5 minutes or less? Can you explain the difference between the Ishtar we see here and like Rin Ishtar from Fate?
Okay, so like the thing about Grand Order Ishtar is like they needed a vessel for Ishtar, and so they like do an extra ritual to like summon an appropriate vessel for Ishtar, which is Rin. And so Ishtar in Grand Order is like explicitly, her personality is being like curtailed by Rin's personality, which is why she's not like a psychotic, like sociopath right?
Okay. Is it like present day Rin, or they've summoned heroic spirit Rin with
Just let's just say Rin's body as a vessel, right? Just Rin.
The
Okay.
platonic
It is
ideal of Rin Tosaka.
Sure, it's just an excuse for a Rin face in the game, right? But the thing here then is because Ishtar has just possessed like the Ninesborn homunculus, which is just literally meant to be an empty vessel for the
Right.
Grail War.
There's nothing. There's no personality to put her in check. Yes.
Right. And like you even have Gilgamesh has a line in this episode where he's like, "Or are you being influenced by your vessel or whatever?" And she's like, "Uh-uh.
This is just an empty doll."
Yeah.
And I saw the implication is that this is an Ishtar that is much more capricious and dangerous, right?
Yes.
Because
she
is fully in control.
Rin Ishtar, it has to be nice enough for you to summon her and, maybe hang out. But
well, that's just because Fate Go is a game for cowards.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Other gacha games let you summon evil women, no issue.
Yeah.
But, right. So yes, it's meant to be.
Is it?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Is that the same thing with Waver being Giga
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
I
guess that does leave a question then: who made that Einsberg homunculus,
Einsberg.
and then put the?
Sorry.
Why?
Do they?
What do you mean? They didn't make it for
laying around.
Right. That's what I mean, right? So why did they send one to LA?
Because that's how the Holy Grail War works. You need the Lesser Grail to fill up with the dead servants to access the Holy Grail, right?
No, but I mean, what do the Einsbergs get out of sending a blank homunculus to LA with no plan to summon a servant or
keep watching?
Okay, all right. Hey, that's great. Another
maybe
mystery.
it's strange that maybe it is strange and fake that the Einsberg, despite there being an Einsberg homunculus here to fulfill the mechanical role of the Holy Grail War, the Einsbergs themselves do not appear to be involved in any way.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah. Okay.
That's strange.
How strange? What's the deal with that? Though Ayaka does have some flashbacks. She had some flashbacks. She was like, a white-haired lady told me to come here, so I came here.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
fascinating.
Who knows?
Is she also an Einsberg homunculus? They just dyed her hair blonde.
Who could say?
Who could say? All right. Well,
any other questions?
Hey, look, we have a Type Moon expert with us. We're gonna, get into this. So
okay, if Ishtar had not intervened, who would have won between Hydra Poison powered up Al-Qaidi's 9 lives or Gilgamesh fighting for real?
He hadn't pulled out Aya yet, man.
That motherfucker never pulls out Aya. It's actually what a fraud. Really, honestly, okay. To a certain extent, it's yes, this is the fatal character flaw of Gilgamesh, is he has this overwhelming power, but he's too arrogant to use it. That works 1 or 2 times. It eventually gets to a point. It also makes him using it on Iskandar and Fate Zero fucking crazy now.
Right. Just the level of spectacle involved seems less, right, or whatever.
You were willing to pull out Aya on a dude on a horse. But you were not willing to pull it out on a man who shot 9 demon lizard lasers at you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, 9 things you can block, but
what you're telling
reality
me?
Marvel, you need to destroy the world you need an anti-world level phantasm to get rid of a reality.
You tell me if Ionia and Hetairoy had actually closed the distance?
Yeah, I think they could have got him.
Gil maybe would have been in trouble.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
This man on a horse, if he had rode across that desert.
So silly.
Fate Zero's great.
Fate
that warrants the world-ending weapon.
Yeah,
I do enjoy Gilgamesh being like, Hydra poison, that's nothing, and then he gets hit by the Hydra poison, and he's immediately on the ground sweating and shitting himself.
This shit ain't nothing to me, man.
Yeah, it's very good.
Fate's so dumb. I'm having a great time. It's just silly, right? And yes, just there are so many little references to everything that I get to be over here rubbing my hands together, enjoying the spectacle of it, like
Clapping
to a
like
greater
seal.
degree, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, I'll check in with my friend who's watching this as this very first Fate thing to see what he thinks.
God, that's so chaotic.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, feeling like
does he even know what command spells do?
Yeah, like I feel like having more than above average knowledge of Fate, even I'm like, this is a lot to process. But yeah, it's fun.
You're all too weak.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that'll do it then for this episode. We can next time we stay tuned for season previews. We can talk about what will be the best anime of 2026, Dorohedoro Season 2.
Oh, yeah.
Which just dropped a trailer. I'm very much looking forward to that. What should have been our anime of the year 2020, which is crazy to think about that being 6 years ago, but I'm not going to think too hard about that. I feel like that was either like right when COVID hit or pre-COVID, just before COVID. I don't remember, but anyway.
I'll have to look at what's coming up next season.
We'll get into that next time. So we'll wrap this up with our housekeeping. Check us out at theglorioblog.com. Follow us on Blue Sky at the Glorio Blog. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, Stitcher, and of course YouTube, where you can like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, and we'll catch everybody next time.